Hey guys, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Our guest today is artist Foad Hamzeh. Foad's passion led him to create a unique creative hub, inviting people to learn and express themselves through art, photography, and music. And now he's here to tell us more about it on this Monday morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
Welcome
you guys.
to the show.
Thank you guys.
Great to have you on.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so
It's awesome to be here.
yeah, it's awesome to have you here as well with us. So if you could tell us a bit more about did you start your art journey and what inspired it?
Okay, so I started when I was really young, like most people do, but I actually pursued it and I kept going on. And while I was in uni, I even kept studying with other teachers outside of university, and I wanted to push into this talent and give it as much as I can. Graduated. Did nothing with what I graduated, literally nothing. Did some internships here and there and worked a bit here and there, but didn't feel like it was the thing for me. And then started producing paintings. I was extremely nervous to show the world my paintings. I always used to be a nervous guy sketching on the sketchbooks because it wasn't it wasn't like a cool thing to be a sketcher, to be an artist in our world. And then after it, I started producing these paintings, and then everyone was like, you need to go and do an exhibition, do an exhibition, do an exhibition. And it's what I did. Sold out the first exhibition, sold out the next exhibition, and then kept it going from there. It's been an awesome journey for art, yeah. And now we do sculptures. I do really big sculptures. Don't like to go small. Usually people do like these small sculptures. I do like really big, nice ones. And that's been my art journey. That's how I started.
Whoa, there's like a whole 3 decades there that we need to unravel. So, first of all, I'd love to just ask, like, to go right back to, you said you did a bit of art maybe in uni and stuff, but like, what did that look like then? Did you feel that you had a talent then?
Oh, it was nothing like I did like I do now. It was extremely. It was just random stuff. It's where you try to figure out what you want to do. And what message you want to give. So the sketching was mainly for me to learn different forms and different ways I can produce art. But what it was back then and what it is now is completely different. Now it's more of the message that I give to the world. Back then it was, I'm going to try to draw this person. I'm going to try to draw this thing. And that's what it was. And then my form of art is actually abstract calligraphy in Arabic and English. So I studied with a few teachers to learn calligraphy, and then from there I started breaking down words and breaking down letters because my concept is a picture is worth 1,000 words, but I'd rather give you 1,000 words and give you one picture, and that's what I do. So in one painting you'd see almost 1,000 words written over and over again to just drill that message into your head, and that's what the work is.
Fuad, I want to ask you, at the beginning of the first question, you were like, art is not normal, right? Like in your time. So what do you mean by that? Like it's not normal? Like did people like
in our world, I think.
Yeah, in our world. Like did people?
It wasn't something that was that big, and now you see some museums opening up. You see the Louvre coming up. You see people pushing in, but there wasn't alcos. There wasn't all these things that are trying to give you the art world, and this is what I wanted to give back because it was so difficult for me here to find a place where I can study properly and learn. And I built a studio where people can come and learn art, and art in all forms, by the way. So it's paintings, drawing, sketching, and music production, and DJing, and photography. So I wanted people to understand that you don't have to be nervous because usually in our world, it's either you're a doctor or you're an engineer or you're an architect, and then the rest just fall under. And that's that's the sad part 10 years ago, and now you need to push, and if you see talent you need to feed that talent, and you can't just keep telling your child no. It's your child's going to grow up to be miserable in the end. Thank God I had parents that kept pushing me towards this industry and this life, and it's been awesome since then.
That's what we were going to say. Like, dare we ask, was the family support there when you wanted to jump into art?
Yeah. So my mom always took me to art classes. My dad was there at every exhibition he could. He's an awesome guy. Yeah, even the one I had around, I think last year I had an exhibition in Beverly Hills. He even stopped work, left everything, and then came. Yeah, so he's an awesome guy.
Don't we love dads?
Yeah.
We do for sure.
Shout out to an amazing family support. I think
Yeah.
that's so important. And have you seen, you know, when you're bringing people, and we will talk about the hub that you've started shortly, but when you speak to other artists, do they have the same support there? Do you see other people like getting pushback? Do you see other people finding it hard to make that jump?
I think we all find our purpose in life and the people that are going to push us. It doesn't always have to be parents. Sometimes it's a loved one. Sometimes it's an enemy. Sometimes it's your competitor that will push you because they might be doing better than you, and that's your drive. It's just your drive is your own, and that's what you make in life. It's who you are. So if you have a good family that's pushing you, then that's it. If you have a partner that's pushing you, then it's usually like that. No, I think that's how it is in life.
So for sure, of course, it was not all rainbows and unicorns, you know, like through your
Definitely.
art process, right? So like, was there like, let's say, a moment where you were like, oh my God, like I'm not succeeding, I'm not doing well, it's too much. Oh my God, I might drop art.
Yeah.
Really?
It does get to that stage. Sometimes you have exhibitions where storms are happening outside. That's something that happened with me. There was a storm happening outside, and it was one of my first ones, and I was extremely nervous about this one because it was a really big one for me. And then no one showed up for like the first 2-3 hours, and then after it, like just 10 people showed up, and I was like, "What am I doing? What's wrong? Like, why is this happening?" And then you just have to keep pushing yourself, and that's what I tell everyone, because you can't just be that person that gives up at the first sight of trouble. You can't do that. It's you didn't get this far to just stop now. That's the thing I always tell myself. I didn't get this far. It's either this or I'm done. Like I can't. I don't see myself doing anything else. I love it that much. It's my baby. It's my child. Yeah.
And it's amazing. And now you're obviously giving back to the local scene. But
Yeah.
how have you seen the art scene evolve in the last decade in Dubai?
We've been doing good. We've been doing good. We need to do more, but we've been doing good. That's what I tell everyone, because there has to be more. It can't just be a Circle Avenue and the Louvre in Abu Dhabi, or now they're building Guggenheim. But it can't just be that, because art. We need more in the city. We need to give back more. You see some galleries opening up, but there needs to be more where kids and adults and all these people come and learn. It's not a skill we have, it's a skill we need to create in each other. So I want people to come and learn and educate themselves on this kind of a world, because it's so therapeutic. I've till now, since I've opened the studio, I've maybe had 2 people that stopped, but the rest are they just keep coming back. They just keep coming back. They just want more. You have to give back to the community, and the community has to have art, because art to me is like the ultimate knowledge. When you're there at that level, it doesn't get more than that. Everyone buys art and everyone loves art. It's at different levels. That's it.
You said, by the way, right now that art is therapeutic.
Yeah.
Right. So have you ever like let me phrase this in a right way that you know, like, let's say everyone has a kind of like a defense mechanism, right? So have you ever like gone to art at like a very hard time in your life?
Yes. Yeah. The hardest times to me were when art. The hardest times I had in my life, art was always there to help me. It's different. There's no injury risk, which is good, right? Because when you're in sports and you want to just like lift the heaviest weight, or you want to run the quickest, and then sometimes you like start choking or stuff like that, it's so tough. But art is extremely therapeutic, because no matter what you're going through, you can just blast music and keep going. It's a different kind of life. I always advise people to learn if they can, if they want to. Learn art, study art, even study the history of art, because it's just beautiful. It's different than our history, right? The history you had to learn when you were a kid. It's just the way people used to think before, like Picasso. Oh my God, that guy had such a beautiful brain. Crazy but beautiful brain. You always had to see where people came back from and how they created such a beautiful thing. It's history. Art in all forms, by the way. Architecture too. Zaha Hadid, one of the greatest. Like, look at what she does no curves, no. Oh my God, it was such a beautiful person. I love art. I love all kinds of art, even music, everything. Everything is beautiful.
Can you tell, in terms of the art that you create yourself, how long do you mentioned that it's kind of purpose and message based?
Yeah.
So is it one piece of message per art, or do you have a general message you want to share with the world? And how long did it take you to define your messaging?
Yeah. So each collection falls under like an umbrella of different kinds of messages. My latest collection is being called Metamorphosis, and that's, I don't know where that's going. We'll figure it out, and I'll send it on Instagram when it's figured out. So there's always a specific message that comes behind the collection, and then small messages that come with the painting. So, and usually if there's two languages in it, so I'm one of the only people that do Arabic and English together in the same piece. So they usually, sometimes they contradict themselves, sometimes they work together in a beautiful way. So in Arabic, I have one of these paintings that say, in Arabic, it says, dreams make good stories. And then in English, it says, but everything good happens when you're awake. So it's always that kind of a style, you get me? Yeah.
That's beautiful, actually. You know, the fact that you think, you know, a lot of people go like, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And now you're saying that calligraphy is worth 1,000 words.
Yeah, 1,000 words give you one picture.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Exactly,
yeah.
which is honestly like, it's like mind blowing.
Yeah,
which is very cool at this point. So, do you think that art is a given or is it learned? Like, do you grow with like the love for art, or do you learn it and grow to love it?
I think you can do both. So it's always. They always have this thing where they say hard work beats talent, and then I always say in such a weird way that good luck when talent works hard. That's the only difference, right? But then what happens when you have someone that's extremely talented and always also wants to work hard? That's what you get. But I think talent is one thing, and then working hard is one thing, because no matter who you are, you always have to work hard to create what you want to create. But I always push people, because sometimes some people don't know that they're actually talented. You always have, I can't even draw a smiley face, and then they draw like a beautiful landscape picture. It's talent is always hidden somewhere, but you just have to figure it out, and that's what I push everyone to do, because what's happening now is everyone's always just stuck to their black mirrors. You know what that is, right? Your black mirror. This is a black mirror. Your screens. Screens are all black mirrors. So everyone's just stuck to that, and they're not pushing towards different kinds of art. So even sports is an art, everything is an art, but then you have these kids and adults, and everyone's just stuck to their phone, and that's it. Put the phone down, go figure out what you want to do, and push your children, or push yourself to do something that's good and beneficial for you, like art, like sports, like creating something. Are you a creator or a consumer? That's it.
I'm just thinking that, like, if we have anyone watching the show right now, we're all limited.
But everyone's a consumer at the end of the day, right? Because I'm also a consumer. You have to be a consumer.
I'm a consumer.
You can't be a creator without any consumer. You have to.
But I do agree with you that we all are potentially limiting ourselves so much by being stuck to our phones. I think that's a really strong point. So tell us, finally, what inspired you to create FS Visual Studio, and what is its focus, and who can join?
Okay, so my purpose was to create a small creative hub where everyone gets together and works together. So you have some people that come and learn art in all different kinds of forms. We have workshops that are there every 2 weeks that happen. Beautiful workshops, they're amazing in art. And now we also have a photography room, so where you can learn photography, filmmaking, all these kind of things. We have teachers for everything. And you can book the photography room for like specific purposes that you would. And music production. So there aren't a lot of music production places in the UAE, which is something I realized. There's around like 2, 3, that's it, where you can produce songs. So we built a music hub too, and DJing. So there aren't places that you can actually learn how to DJ in the UAE. It's always usually someone that just comes and has a set and learns, and then starts going into clubs or areas like that.
Got you.
So we have all that coming together, and it's been done for a while, and it's been awesome. Everyone can join, all ages. It's just for the music room, young kids can't really join. That's it, because of the equipment. And It's a beautiful place. You should come check it out.
Where is it?
It's in Al-Quoz area.
Al-Quoz is like the hub of art.
It is, isn't it?
Ask, were you there this weekend at Al-Quoz Fest, and what did you think of it?
I passed by. It was beautiful. It was beautiful to see what people have been doing in this area. My art isn't really hanging out in this area anymore. I built my career here, but the work isn't really in the UAE region anymore, sadly. But I love what people are doing here now. There's so much talent, but you just need that little push, like fly, you know, like why are you walking? Just fly, and that's what I tell everyone.
Great.
Well, that's very cool, actually, as well. You know, I just like wonder at all times, like if let's say a kid comes and is learning, you know, art and so on, and they're just like they're frustrated, they're not making it in the art world. What advice would you give them? What advice would you give someone who wants to pursue art?
Yeah, we had that like 2 weeks ago. It was crazy. It was great because the teacher was inside and she was so like upset because she didn't know like how to communicate to the child, like, because the child was just crying intensely. And usually I don't interfere because I try not to interfere with the people in the class, but the child just walked out and she was just crying the whole time, and I told her like, what are you doing? Why are you upset? Like, just be happy. She was frustrated because everyone else was doing better than her in class, but it's a class where everyone should be with themselves, and you can't be a Picasso when you start. You have to learn to get to the stage you're at. And maybe what's happening is a lot of people come and they want to learn the basics, which is basically like landscape, portrait, all these kind of things. But then some people find themselves in abstract art, and you need to give them different kinds of mediums for them to discover. It doesn't always have to be acrylic. It can be charcoal, oil pastels, watercolors. Some people find themselves in different kinds of mediums, and some people find themselves in different kinds of art. Like maybe that child wanted to learn art the whole time, but then they realized that they wanted to be doing music or photography, because those are also amazing forms of art. We just don't touch we just don't go and touch it because we're not used to it. We just listen to it or experience it on a day-to-day basis. Do you get me? Yeah, that's what I mean. So always push kids to learn, and push adults to come and learn and educate themselves too.
So many great messages you dropped on the show. I always say we're so lucky to meet people from all walks of life and doing really interesting things in Dubai. So Foad, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
we really
you guys.
appreciate your time
Thank
this
you
morning.
guys.
It is Monday morning, and that is a wrap on the Lovin Dubai show. We're back with you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.